I don't want my next door neighbor to rent out their house on weekends to people coming to Las Vegas, because you know what happens in Las Vegas. Nobody talks about what happens in Las Vegas because they're having a party, they're having fun, and I'm at home for my sanctuary. I don't want that in my neighborhood. I don't want to have to deal with that.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Darren, I found this article in the paper this week. This topic keeps coming back over and over and over again. The headline of this one is Las Vegas Short-Term Rental Group Challenges Enforcement of Rules. This was written by Richard Vallata at the RJ. And it starts off with a group of Clark County property owners has filed federal lawsuit in U.S. District Court in Nevada against the county and state, challenging the government's ability to enforce restrictions on providing short-term rentals to visitors in Southern Nevada. Okay. It's an 84-page, 20. I mean,
they'll never win.
They've got so many things here. Okay, so apparently they're going to get Airbnb to join with them. Good luck.
Good luck. They won't do it. They won't win. You know, one of the things that is not mentioned in the Constitution of the United States of America is local real property laws. I mean, unless you're going to discriminate, because
right.
Other than that, you talk about there's certain things that local jurisdictions are going to be in control of. Education. Right. And then zoning.
Zoning is the key word. That's the word I wanted to talk about.
Zoning.
Because they go on, so one of the complainants says
it's not a constitutional right.
No.
To have your property zoned, or whatever. You know.
Right.
You'd have to figure out a way of. They'll never ever get it, because if the local community says no, they will not override it. They will not. Now, sentiment-wise, if we change as a people and tell our local legislators to change at city council, that can happen.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. We've got a lot of people who are some people are calling their local politicians and saying yes, some are saying no.
Right.
I've stayed in Airbnbs in Brazil, France.
Yeah. We did one in France last year.
And Italy, Spain.
Yeah.
And some people locally are like, thank you for coming and whatever. And some of the locals hate you.
Well, look at they're having all
Barcelona.
Kinds of, they're going crazy over there right now. They're hating it.
They don't like it.
They don't like it at all.
Right.
And okay, so one of the complaints goes on, and the quote is, "So who is the county really trying to protect? Who serves as president of this question? Who are they protecting? We know who they're protecting. It's the hotels. And the hotel. Look, this is my argument.
But the hotels,
they pay our taxes for us, guys. You want to start to attack their income and reduce their income,
right,
and go after that, and they start paying less. Guess what? Guess who's picking up the slack?
Yeah,
it's going to be us. It's going to be income tax.
We have a unique economy.
Yeah.
And we are reliant on the gaming industry.
Very much so.
Very much so. And so it's hard to find a community like us. I mean, you could go to Florida, where they're
Orlando, maybe.
Some places have to have tourism,
right,
like we do. and maybe Orlando.
Yeah.
But if you look at downtown New York City, they got rid of them.
Yeah.
They're fighting back Airbnb big.
Yeah.
So they allowed it, and then they got rid of it.
When you said that word zoning, to me, it goes like this. And I had another agent discuss this with me years ago when we were talking about it, and he was very much in favor of these short-term rentals. He was trying to sell them, and he was doing all these things. And I said, I don't want my next door neighbor to rent out their house on weekends to people coming to Las Vegas, because you know what happens in Las Vegas. Nobody talks about what happens in Las Vegas because they're having a party, they're having fun, and I'm at home for my sanctuary. I don't want that in my neighborhood. I don't want to have to deal with that, and that's a commercial venture, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, here's the thing too. If you look at zoning and noise laws, you can be super loud. Let's just throw it out there. Like, I don't know if it's exact, but you can start hammering at 7 a.m.
Right.
And I think you have to shut up at like 10 p.m.
I think that's right.
Here's the reality. We all go to bed at 7:30. Once in a while, your neighbor will party past 10.
Right.
Not every single day. If it's a commercial outfit, you've got a group of golfers who flew in on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
The average human doesn't stay up past 10 on Tuesday.
There you go.
But if it's a machine, like if somebody's doing, when your neighbor is remodeling.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, wow, they're allowed to make that much noise at 7 a.m.? This is incredible.
Yeah.
Because nobody makes any noise. We can make noise. And that's really what it comes down to.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, ultimately, home needs to be sanctuary.
Right.
We need to have a place to step away. Those of us who live here, most of us don't really like going to the Strip all that much anyway, just to stay away from the crowd. We don't want that. We want to be home to be our sanctuary. Many of us work on the Strip.
I've got
we want to get home and be away from that.
friend who lives on the beach in Oregon.
Okay.
And so he lives in a small tourist town, and they do it, and they have a totally wacky system. They have this lottery, and there can only be so many licenses per year. You get lottery, you win it, and then you get to have that. You don't get it forever.
Right.
You get it for 36 months or something.
Okay.
You got to redo it. So it's not consistent income. You can't know that I can sell this and you're going to have the ability to do an Airbnb for 7 years forever.
Interesting.
You will lose your license. Everyone loses their license on a rotating basis.
Very interesting.
And that's how they do it.
That's actually pretty smart.
Otherwise, you're breaking the rules, and they can enforce it. And everybody rats each other out because they know the rules.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, if you've ever been in a really beautiful place near the ocean or the mountains or whatever, if it all turns into Airbnb, there's no community at all.
That's right. Yeah.
None.
Yeah. It's like a flat hotel with just spread out on the ground, and without the amenities.
The guy across the street is a tourist. Nobody lives there. Nobody's anybody you're going to talk to.
Yeah.
They're not going to be here consistently on 4th of July or something.
I like that perspective. You lose that sense of community. Yeah.
That's what Europe's all upset about.
Yeah.
Because it's not just America. The whole world wants to go to Venice.
Yeah.
The whole world wants to go to Barcelona.
Of course.
Paris.
Yeah.
We all dream about it since we're 5.
Yep.
So it's just the people
Helene
that live
and I did
there.
that last year, and we stayed at an Airbnb in Paris.
Did?
We did. Yeah, we did that last year.
And you
with
go
our
to
friends.
lunch and they shoot you with squirt guns.
That's right. I saw that on TV. Now I'm glad we did it last year.
So it's complicated. It's a complicated.
It is. Look, and I feel for those who feel. I mean, she's making the argument. Well, this is how I support my family. Okay, fine. I understand that, but maybe you should have known going into this business that there was going to be some.
Well, it's not allowed in Clark County at all.
No.
Do you know they said we're going to give away 5,000 licenses or something?
Yeah, and they've only done a few.
Like 10 or 20,000 people applied.
Yeah, but they've only approved like a couple hundred so far. Clark County does not want this thing to happen.
No,
they're fighting it, and I appreciate my government fighting this on my behalf as a tax-paying citizen here in Clark County. I pay my real estate taxes. I want you to protect my right to have sanctuary in my home. I like this. I mean, and I feel bad for those people who may end up losing money in the venture, but it's a venture, guys. It's not. I mean, it's like any other business. They're going to lose their opportunity, but it's these are the people who are involved in it, and I understand that. Look, they're good people. But they're pursuing the wrong thing. They need to sell these, and they can get their money out now.
It's a real uphill battle because.
They could be made whole if they sold the home right now. It's that the homes are getting good prices right now.
But it's a real uphill battle because first of all, the government can come in and change what you're doing and take away your rights sometimes.
Right.
But here's the situation where they're in. They don't have the right to do it.
They never did.
That's
right.
So they invested, and they what they want to do is say you have to accept my business venture.
Right.
I want to have a strip club in this building. It's a perfect location for it.
Right.
You must change the zoning for me.
Right.
I mean, that's an extreme example.
Well, I mean,
but it's not like they had a strip club and then we said, by the way, no more strip clubs.
But it is a slippery slope.
What you do there is you grandfather that out. If you sell, you can't transfer this.
Right.
Blah blah blah. So these guys went out and they're buying stuff and they want us to. And I'm on the fence.
I know. You and I talked about it before the program.
Well, here's the deal. Where I live in town, everybody's got like a third acre, a half acre.
Right.
So it's really hard. But if you live right next door to somebody and they're having a big pool party.
Yeah.
And they're using bad language.
Yeah.
Or they're playing Lawrence Welk really loud. And you're just like, I can't tell you how much I hate the accordion.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. I don't think it's an instrument,
No.
I don't think it's art.
It's like an animal having a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
That's what's going. It's a complicated.
It is a complicated
But when they phrase the argument that it's a taking, so they're backwards.
Yeah.
You
never
isn't
had
a taking.
it. You never had it. That's right.
You want to do this venture. That's where they want. All the articles I read, they always start with the same thing, like, you're harming me. You're like, well, don't do it.
Yeah.
No one told you to buy that house and rent it out.
That's right.